Hey, thanks for meeting with me. I know this is important, and I want to tell you a little bit about my story. I'm not really sure how it all started. I know I didn't plan for it. It just kind of happened. You know, the day I married my wife, I never planned to cheat on her. Hey, Grace. Sorry I'm late. Had an important deal I had to wrap up. Where's Hayden? Grace?
She's in bed. James, there's something I have to talk to you about.
Grace, wait. There's something I need to talk with you about. Listen, I want a divorce.
Why?
Grace, I just don't love you anymore. With a deep sense of guilt, I drafted a divorce agreement, which stated that she could keep the house and 30% stake in my company. I felt it was only fair, since she had spent 30 years of her life with me. I really felt sorry for all of her wasted time and all that she'd put into our marriage. But I couldn't take back what I'd said. I didn't love her anymore. I could hear her crying in the other room. Her cry was actually a kind of release. The idea of divorce, which had obsessed me for several months, seemed to be clearer and firmer now. She didn't want anything from me. All she asked for was a month's notice before the divorce. She requested that in that 1 month we both struggled to live as normal a life as possible. Her reasons were simple. Our daughter had her exams in a month's time, and she didn't want to disrupt her with our broken marriage. Her terms were agreeable to me, but she had something else she wanted. She asked that I stay home and during that month every morning carry her out of the bedroom to the front door. This made no sense to me, but I was willing to do it to protect Hayden and to keep the divorce civil. I told Darlene what my wife said, and she told me I was a fool to even consider it. I remember driving home that night, thinking, how did I get here?
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for doing this.
Of course. So you just want me to pick you up, carry you out of the room?
Exactly. Just like you did on our wedding night.
Okay.
Remember, nothing to Hayden about the divorce.
On the second day, she leaned on my chest, and I could smell the fragrance of her skin. It's funny how something like that can bring back a whole flood of memories. I hadn't looked at her carefully for a long time. She wasn't young anymore. There were fine wrinkles on her face, and it was apparent to me that our marriage had taken its toll on her. For a minute, I had wondered what I had done. As the days passed, our sense of intimacy was growing again. Every day it seemed easier and easier to carry her. I didn't tell Darlene what was happening between us. It was the last day, and she was choosing a dress to wear. She tried on several, but she couldn't find the right one.
All my clothes are too big.
Then I saw it. She had grown so thin. That was the reason I could carry her so easily. Suddenly it hit me. She had buried so much pain in her heart, it had affected her physically as well as emotionally. Without a thought, I reached out and touched her.
Hey, Dad. I'm gonna carry Mom out, come on.
My daughter Hayden came into the room. You know, we had tried 8 years for Grace to get pregnant, but she wouldn't conceive. And then one day, out of the blue, she was pregnant with this beautiful, smart young lady. She truly is a miracle. I wondered, how was she going to handle all of this? Why don't you give us a minute, hon? Our ritual had become as important to Hayden as it had to us. Holding her like that brought back some feelings that I had buried deep inside. I had to ask myself, why did I choose to stop loving her? At that point, I realized how I got to this place. I had lost focus on what was really important. People would call me a success because of my money and possessions. The fact is, I was a failure. I put value in all the wrong things. I realized what I needed to do. It was to hold her every day. I let the distance between us get too great. The solution was simple.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. So, what would you like your card to say?
How about, I'll carry you every morning. Grace.
I try to stand, but I
Grace, I'm
fall
home.
down again.
Grace. Grace.
I need you to carry me. I need you to carry me. I need you to carry me when I am weak. Oh, this can't be enough to just say I'm sorry, to confess my fault.
Turns out, Grace had a rare disease. That morning, her kidneys had shut down, and they told me if I hadn't come home early, she would have died. The only way she could survive was with a transplant. They told me the chances of a match were 1 in a million. I guess we beat the odds.
Hi, I'm Kevin Stitt, founder of Gateway Mortgage Group. You might think it's strange that a mortgage company would do a short film, but after we heard this story, we knew it had to be told. I hope you enjoyed the film and the important message that it shared. You know, faith, family, and friends are at the core of true happiness in this life. If we can be of assistance to you, please call the number on the screen. We'd be happy to. Thank you for watching, and please feel free to share this with your friends and family.